18-plus movie, grossing more than any 18-plus movie in history. It was released some time ago. The release date, of course, happening later than was initially announced, and that caused a lot of controversy on the internet. So many people pissed off over the release of this movie based on the best-selling novel, which sold millions of copies worldwide. There is no setback on the Blu-ray, DVD, or digital download release, though. It is definitely coming out on Friday, May 8th, with a lot of anticipation going for the special features on both the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital download. So definitely this one is going to produce a lot of high numbers for people who are fans of the original novel and the original theatrical release. I'm looking forward to this one. This is one of the most talked about Blu-ray, DVD, and digital download releases in years. The highest grossing movie in 18-plus movie history. That says a lot, and we've got the trailer for you on our Facebook page at HEW Entertainment and on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke. Something else that's been on the back of my mind ever since the birth of the Royal Princess a couple of days ago. Can you imagine, with all the conversation on social media about Frozen and Frozen 2's announcement, if they would have named her Elsa or Anna from Frozen? The internet would have just blown up. Social media would have been all over that, especially with how popular Frozen is ever since 2013 and has been, and going to be even more so with the upcoming Ice Show and eventually Frozen 2. The animated short got over with Disney's Cinderella so much, generating millions of dollars like Cinderella did and was expected to do, along with Frozen joining as the animated short at the start of the movie. But with the upcoming Ice Show and Frozen 2 announced by Disney, the CEO of Disney saying that they're not going to be letting go of Frozen anytime soon, as opposed to naming her Charlotte Elizabeth Diana. Can you imagine if they would have named her Elsa or Anna? I respect the decision to name her after the Princess of Wales, but I mean, Elsa or Anna, the social media community would have just blown up. It would have been all over Facebook. It would have been all over Twitter. There would have been millions of people subscribing to the royal family's Facebook and Twitter pages. There are millions of subscribers likewise to it without being named Elsa or Anna, but can you imagine how many subscribers, how many hits they would have got on their social media fan pages? It would have been unbelievable, and the internet just in general would have blown up over it, especially with how much conversation we have seen about Frozen ever since 2013. That would have been absolutely incredible. But nonetheless, the temperature has been cut in half from yesterday's 17 degrees, only 9 today. It's an exceptionally cold day out there on the gauge, but despite being cold, we are live on our Facebook page with over 1,000 fans listening to our show at HEW Entertainment, on Twitter at Jonathan Clarke, one with 40,000 tweets, on YouTube with over 100 new videos uploaded, with 1,000 videos in total archived, with over 56,000 channel views. We are live at Jonathan Clarke 22 with a podcast feed from podnova.com. Subscribe to our podcast. All of our YouTube videos have been converted for you into podcast format. Subscribe now to get in on the conversation. You can also sign up for a form by going to our website and letting us know what's on your mind. If you have anything to contribute to our show, you can contribute to our show through social media, throughout the internet, through Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on Google Plus at HEW Entertainment. This week on our show, what I have for you: we want Sting in WWE, and yes, we do want Sting in WWE. There are so many Sting fans out there who were pissed off at the conclusion of WrestleMania 31 and how Sting was treated at the hands of D-Generation X and the NWO Wolfpack. It was absolutely ridiculous seeing Sting kicked in the face by Shawn Michaels. I didn't really agree with that. I thought that was absolutely gross how they brought Sting in. I was hoping Sting was going to beat Triple H, but that wasn't the case. Triple H came out on top. One of the things that gave it away were the mind games that Sting was playing with Triple H leading into their match at WrestleMania 31. Sting was always getting the better of Triple H, finding a way to play a game of one-upsmanship with Triple H. He was able to do it, have a decisive advantage against Triple H heading into the match seemingly every week. And also the fact that Triple H was on a losing streak ever since 2013. The last time Triple H had won a match was at WrestleMania 29 against Brock Lesnar in a no-holds-barred match where his career was on the line. Since then, Triple H has lost matches to people like The Shield and six-man tag team matches and Daniel Bryan at events like WrestleMania. So Triple H kind of needed momentum. He was kind of looking for that, searching for that for a while. But did it have to come at the expense of Sting, who was treated like dirt at the hands of DX and the NWO? I mean, really, kicking Sting in the face was absolutely disrespectful to Sting's legacy after nearly 20 years in professional wrestling, wrestling for major wrestling promotions such as World Championship Wrestling, which he was really loyal to. He never left them for dead, and it was just amazing how Sting never gave up on every promotion that he had worked with. WCW, TNA, every major promotion throughout his career, over 20 years it spanned, and they bring him in WWE in his debut match and have him kicked in the face only to lose to Triple H. Why is it that Triple H always puts himself over in matches with the likes of Sting and Brock Lesnar. Why is Triple H this dominant person? Is it because of his power of executive authority in WWE? I can only hope that my implosion commentary on the authority that I released for In This Corner with Jonathan Clarke that I wrote up a couple of days ago is a prediction that holds true, and we see the implosion of the authority, because it's the authority's fault that wrestlers like Sting are treated the way that they are. I mean, the match for Sting and Triple H at WrestleMania 31 got over in the way of numbers. People ordered the pay-per-view, either purchased the pay-per-view from one night or subscribed to the network. It got the pay-per-view buy rates it was expected to get. It got the subscriber numbers up for WWE Network. But I mean, after everything Sting and Triple H gave us, the conclusion of the match, definitely there was no stamp of finality put on Sting's future in WWE or the future of Triple H. There are still a lot of unanswered questions about Sting's future. I contemplated on that over the last number of weeks on what I thought the future of Sting was going to be. At this point, I really don't care. I'll come out and say that over this microphone. I really don't care what Sting's future has in store. As a fan of WWE, I just want to see Sting again, no matter if it's to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania 32, which was one of my first initial predictions about Sting's future, or to face Seth Rollins for the championship, or whoever, I'll go this far, whoever the champion is that Sting will face when he gets a WWE title opportunity. They have brought so many names from World Championship Wrestling into WWE, and they've given them the opportunity to be champion, or they've given them the championship title. I mean, they did it for Goldberg, and we know how big of a name Goldberg was in World Championship Wrestling. He was their Stone Cold Steve Austin, in my opinion, someone who came in and ran through everybody on the WCW roster and was undefeated for what felt like forever. So be it they did it for Goldberg back in 2003, shortly after Goldberg's arrival, within 3 to 4 months of his arrival, he was champion. They should do the same thing for Sting. That would be awesome, seeing Sting as WWE champion, because we have never seen it before. And can you imagine the ratings and the conversation throughout social media? That would be incredible in my opinion. I'm not saying it just because I've been a Sting fan for years, which I have been. I'll never cover up the fact that I'm a huge Sting fan for what feels like forever in my opinion. But the thing is, it would just be awesome seeing Sting being WWE champion. That would do a world of good, a world of justice, if you would, for the ratings, pay-per-view buy rates, and subscribers to the network. It would get people talking, and it would give us a point of reprieve from seeing the same thing all the time. John Cena losing the championship, winning it back within 3 weeks, losing the championship, winning it back within 3 weeks, losing the championship, winning it back within 3 weeks. And if it's not John Cena, it's Randy Orton. It's the same repetitive thing all the time in WWE. And if it's not that, it's triple threat match after triple threat match after triple threat match, with the champion always being the one who comes in on top 95% of the time, with the other 5% of triple threat matches seeing new champions crowned. We see it for the Intercontinental title, the U.S. title, the WWE Championship all the time. And I'm tired of seeing the same thing. At Payback, we're going to be seeing Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton, for instance. We know what the outcome of that match will be. Obviously, Seth Rollins will retain the title, holding on to it till either Sting or Brock Lesnar reemerge in WWE to take the title away from him, only because I think that Seth Rollins is a replacement for CM Punk and a CM Punk knockout, because Punk isn't there. Seth Rollins is pretty much filling the void, and the similarities between Seth Rollins and CM Punk's characters are so similar, it's really frightening. This is obviously the reason why they've given the title to Seth Rollins, and they're going to have him be champion until someone like Sting or Brock Lesnar in that category returns to take the title from him. And I'm hoping if it's not Brock Lesnar, it's Sting, because we do need something different happening in WWE in the way of a creative direction, in the way of a storyline, a wrestling angle, call it what you wish. Something needs to happen to get our interest back on the product, because a lot of people are losing interest in the product. And I said this about my review of bringing Jim Ross back as full-time commentator to Monday Night Raw and Thursday Night SmackDown, and just WWE in general for their big-time matches. I said this, WWE fans have more of a reason now to watch wrestling with the mute button on. We're seeing more of that raised as an issue in professional wrestling, and talked about how wrestling fans watch wrestling with the mute button on because the commentary gets on their nerves, or just the storylines get on their nerves. They want to see the actual wrestling, which is only about 20 minutes for an edition of Raw or SmackDown, which is atrocious. The rest of the time is taken up with promos and video packages. I hate that about professional wrestling, so I am with you. I am in the same proverbial boat as you that is sinking all the time, because we are losing more and more interest in the professional wrestling product. And I say this to WWE, get something creative going. get us interested in the product, and give us a reason to actually watch the show for the commentary without the mute button on. Give us a reason to watch wrestling without the mute button turned on, and one of those reasons could be to have Sting as champion. That would give us a reason not to watch it with the mute button on all the time, as we have been for the better part of the last 5 through 6 years. I mean, really what has been interesting in WWE, nobody has really cared about Daniel Bryan being on top as champion. I've been a fan of Daniel Bryan because I was a huge fan of Shawn Michaels, and knowing that Daniel Bryan was trained by Shawn Michaels, I was a fan of Daniel Bryan, but I was never as big of a Daniel Bryan fan as I was of Shawn Michaels, because I found the charismatic Shawn Michaels character to be something very different from what Daniel Bryan distributes. Daniel Bryan is kind of just there to create a superstar. He was there in the position he was in because Triple H and Shawn Michaels were so tight as friends. They go back, they have a history together, so obviously Triple H agreed with Shawn Michaels that Daniel Bryan had a future in WWE, and he was kind of just there to create a new wrestler to replace someone like a John Cena and Randy Orton whenever WWE felt the need to have Daniel Bryan be on top to replace John Cena when there was a void somewhere there or there was a missing link. And now after Daniel Bryan's reign as champion was killed because of an injury, and the doctors didn't know what the certain injury was and the amount of time he was going to be gone, and now that he's had a second major injury, Daniel Bryan's future is in doubt more than it's ever been before. So the thing is, you can't always rely on people like Daniel Bryan and Wade Barrett